This is a true story about a bloke I never knew. He was educated. He was, well, so he thought, smart. And he thought he knew a thing or two. He fell for that Cooee call back in 1914. So he thought that he'd sign up, fight the Hun for his queen. He was only 16. Now, you would have thought that the army would have taken one look at him and said, "We can't take you, son. We'll take someone else instead." But no, they grabbed him. They encouraged that war disease. And when they thought that he was fit to kill, they sent him overseas. Now, at fighting, he was pretty good, and his mates found him reliable. He didn't take a backward step in battle. He led by example. So they made him a sergeant. They sent him back in to fight a gang. And you've got to remember, in those days, the honour of becoming a sergeant wasn't given to many men. He got wounded, he got decorated. They sent him home and he thought he'd done his country proud. And his fighting mates held him aloft, cheered him and sang Old Lang Syne quite loud. Now it's 1918 and the people of Australia are proud that their men have gone to war. They saved the women and the children. Who could ask for more? Let's have a parade so we can cheer them all. We'll honour those Anzacs, the ones who made the call. So he marched in that first Anzac parade, leading his men down that cheering street, and the people cheered, waved flags, and threw flowers at his feet. Now, the next day, he was quietly called out from parade and spoken to. We've had a few complaints about the march, and they all relate to you. We're going to take your stripes and we're going to release you from this great army. Oh, we'll let you keep your medals, at least those you got for bravery. He wasn't surprised. He wasn't upset. He was disappointed, you see. Well, he'd expected it, you see. Because you've probably worked it out by now. He was an Aborigine. People who'd watched the march were in an uproar. More complaints to the army, the press, the politicians than they'd ever had before. How could you let such a man march on such an occasion? And to lead white Christian men, it was a blight on our great nation. Now his army mates, they didn't cause an uproar. They just let him pack his kit and walk quietly out the back door. Gone were all those principles that we're now told they were fighting for. You're not an Australian. You're not one of us. The war's over. We don't need you anymore. Now it's 1967 and the Anzac parade has become an annual event. And people like him have been made citizens in their own country by the government. He's standing in the parade watching those soldiers march past. There. Anzac pride shining through. When a voice from the march calls out, "There's our old sergeant. He should be marching. Let him through." But the parade moved on. He turned his back to it and stood there very still, thinking. Those men still have no idea what they did, and I guess they probably never will. True story.